Hello, armies. There's been a massive revelation that has not only stunned many people, but has also left South Koreans reflecting deeply on their perceptions of BTS. This story connects to the recent intense protests across South Korea calling for the impeachment of President Yoon Suk-yeol. Amid this political turmoil, something truly remarkable about BTS's quiet generosity over the years has come to light. Something many South Koreans had no idea about. Today, we'll break it all down, examining both the ongoing protests and BTS's often overlooked contributions to their nation and the world. Right now, South Korea is in the midst of a huge political storm. The streets are filled with protests demanding the impeachment of President Yoon Suk-yeol. The situation escalated after a shocking announcement by President Yoon on December 3rd, when he declared martial law. Yes, you read that right. Martial law. Imagine watching your president make such an extreme declaration, essentially stripping away democratic rights, all under the pretext of stabilizing the country. South Koreans, however, were not having it. Within just 24 hours, the National Assembly overturned the martial law declaration, and massive protests spread across the country. Citizens are chanting for Yoon's resignation, accusing him of abusing his power. This backlash, however, isn't just a reaction to the martial law declaration. It has been a long time coming due to a series of controversial decisions under Yoon's leadership. Under President Yoon's leadership, South Korea has been plagued by numerous controversial decisions, especially those that have negatively impacted vulnerable communities. His administration made deep cuts to vital sectors like orphanages, public health care, and cultural preservation. These cuts directly affected essential institutions, such as the Seoul National University Children's Hospital, which saw its budget slashed, putting children's lives at risk. These actions by President Yoon's administration seem to prioritize short-term financial goals over the long-term well-being of South Korea's citizens and its rich heritage. As a result, there has been widespread dissatisfaction, and calls for his impeachment have intensified. The protests happening now are not just a response to the martial law decree but a deeper reflection on the years of harm caused by Yoon's policies. Citizens are rallying together to demand a government that puts the people first, a government that prioritizes essential services, the welfare of its people, and the preservation of its cultural identity. As the protests intensify, something unexpected and remarkable has come to light: BTS's quiet generosity over the years. While President Yoon's administration has caused harm to the most vulnerable sectors of society, BTS has been stepping in to fill the void left by the government's neglect. This revelation has caught many South Koreans by surprise. The fact that BTS has made substantial contributions to society behind the scenes has largely gone unnoticed, and it's only now that their quiet acts of kindness are being acknowledged. One of the most touching stories comes from Jungkook, who made a generous, anonymous donation to the Seoul National University Children's Hospital. After President Yoon slashed funding to the hospital, it was left struggling to maintain its life-saving services. Jungkook quietly stepped in to make a donation that helped sustain the hospital's operations. This act of kindness was only recently revealed by the hospital's representatives, who expressed immense gratitude for his support. Jungkook is known for his humble nature, and this donation perfectly aligns with his character. He never sought the spotlight or public recognition for his charitable actions. His primary goal has always been to make a meaningful difference, not to garner applause or attention. Then there's RM, BTS's leader, who has consistently shown a deep love for South Korea's history and culture. RM personally donated to South Korea's Cultural Heritage Administration to help preserve historical sites and artifacts, something the government should have been prioritizing but often neglected. RM has always taken immense pride in South Korea's rich cultural heritage, and he felt a personal responsibility to ensure its preservation for future generations. What's particularly noteworthy is that RM's donation wasn't a publicity stunt. In fact, it wasn't widely reported by the media at the time, and BTS themselves did not make any public announcements about it. His quiet dedication to preserving Korea's history is just one of the many examples of BTS's commitment to their country and culture. BTS's generosity has not been limited to South Korea. When the devastating earthquake struck Turkey and Syria, BTS quietly donated a significant amount to the relief efforts. They didn't make any public statements about it. There were no press releases from their agency or posts on social media. Instead, BTS made the donation solely out of their compassion for the victims of the disaster. What sets BTS apart is that they've never sought attention for these acts of kindness. Unlike many public figures who publicize their charitable contributions for image-building purposes, BTS has always chosen to make a difference without seeking validation. Their generosity speaks to their authenticity and their genuine desire to help others. The fact that BTS's contributions have been overlooked or even ignored by South Korean media is troubling. Often, the media has focused more on controversies, sometimes even fabricating negative stories about the group. This selective reporting fueled misunderstandings and resentment among some South Koreans who didn't know the full extent of BTS's charitable actions. But now the narrative is shifting. Social media is flooded with heartfelt apologies and realizations. Many South Koreans are expressing their regret for believing the lies about BTS, admitting that they had judged the group unfairly. They are finally realizing that BTS has done more for South Korea than any politician ever has. This new awareness is causing a national awakening. Citizens are taking to social media in droves, posting messages like, "I judged BTS unfairly, but now I see the truth. I owe BTS an apology for believing the lies the media spread about them." This is not just a few people. This is a nationwide awakening. South Koreans are now recognizing that BTS has been quietly doing more for their country than they ever imagined. It's heartwarming but also bittersweet to see BTS's contributions finally being recognized. But for armies, this isn't surprising. We've always known that BTS doesn't do what they do for recognition or applause. They do it because they genuinely care. And now South Korea is beginning to see that too. BTS's acts of kindness extend far beyond South Korea. In 2020, they made a $1 million donation to COVID-19 relief, inspiring armies worldwide to match that amount within a single day. Their partnership with UNICEF's Love Myself campaign has raised millions to combat violence against children and teens. And when crises like the Australian bushfires or the Turkey-Syria earthquake occurred, BTS stepped up to contribute, both financially and emotionally, through messages of solidarity. What makes BTS's generosity so inspiring is the humility behind it. They do not donate for the headlines or the applause. They do it because they genuinely care about making the world a better place.